So here we are with part 1 of the yellow PCL challenge for the month of April. The color is yellow and I am creating a palette of all of my colors, which to me means, first that means take all of your art supplies that's yellow or in the color of the month and just put it down on paper. Get an idea of what everything you have that is that color looks like when it's actually used. And that's fun because it gets you to see what you have and what you can do with it. And so here I have all of my, what I would call the dry or media type of supplies. So pens and markers, pencils. I did these on a just a piece of normal cardstock from Letter It, which is a Ranger product, and it's not a very heavyweight cardstock. So I started out with this, but I really feel like I'm probably going to redo this one just because of how I did the other ones later, which you'll see, I think, in part 2. So as I went along, I wasn't really working in any sort of organized manner. Like maybe I should have put all of the markers together. Maybe I should have put all the pencils together. No, I was just doing what I normally do, which is grab something and write it on, make a little swatch, and then write down what it is on the paper. And it comes out looking pretty cool. I like how that looks. And I can see how bright the color is and how more saturated the color is, like that flare pen at the top. It's almost orange, but compared to these other yellows. But I like how this looks. I mean, some of these are actually, like the tombos, those could actually be activated with water. So I'd really like to use those on some watercolor paper so I can see what they look like when they're activated with water. But it's kind of neat to see what these look like all together on one page. So next I took one of my pieces of watercolor cardstock that I cut into small rectangles. I would say these are approximately maybe 3 by 4, something like that. And they fit in perfectly in the baseball card sleeves. I didn't do that on purpose. It was an accident, but it worked out really well. In this, I wanted to use my watercolor pencils and my Inktense pencils that I knew I could activate with water to see what they would look like. That's why I switched over to the watercolor paper. And I had to be good and scientific and actually write out what it was that everything was, which was almost out of my comfort zone. It's something that I don't always remember to do, but in this case, I was trying to be very scientific and particular about it. That's also a Stabilo Woody, which is fun to play with, and those are juicy and always activate with water. So here's a tombow. So I did go grab my tombow and actually activate that with water as well. So then I think I had to go and get my water and come back. Yep, there's my water. Because I realized, oh yeah, I want to activate these with water. So I had to go get the water. And I'm just using a plain, one of my black velvet water brushes, or watercolor brushes. My favorite brush for doing anything with wet media. Realized that in between everything I should probably be cleaning off my brush so that I'm not contaminating each previous color. But you can see kind of how it looks there with some water on it and without water. That was sort of the important point, was to see that yes, it is activated by water. Then next, what I did was I got some more because I ran out of space on that little card because I was way too excited to go all the way across. Grabbed a scribble stick, which I know is water activated. A Neo Color 2. Those are also water soluble. They're like crayons, but I believe the Neo Color 2s don't have wax. Same as the scribble sticks. And then the last one was a Jane Davenport. I don't even know what those are called. And I wasn't really sure if that was actually going to activate with water, but I wanted to try and see if it did. What are those called? Like, I don't remember, but they're fun to play with. I barely ever use them. Yep, so there it goes with the water. It just kind of melts into the page. I just love that. And the Neo Color really kept its pigment against the background. And whatever that last thing was from Jane Davenport, I don't think it really activated very much, but it might have. And then I went back and mopped it up, which I don't really know why I did that, but I just felt like it wasn't really sinking in the way it could have. And that's the fun part about this, is you're just playing with your supplies and you're getting to know what it is that you have. And after you've done a few of these, I'm going to do these every month. So after I've done a few of them, I will know what kind of things, what my supplies do when I use them. So I won't have to record this every month unless you want me to. Record me making a swatch out of all my different colors, and hopefully I'll stay in camera when I do it. Oh, that one was a watercolor pen marker from Jane Davenport called the Mermaid Markers, I think. Falling Star. And I just wanted to add that on there because it was kind of a golden yellow and it's a wet media. So the next thing I'm going to do is grab a little stamp that I happen to have. It's from an indigo blue set of mixed media marks, kind of. It's all just like different circles and marks. And I decided that I wanted to do a page that was with my inks to see what they look like when they were stamped. So that's kind of what I'm doing here, trying to show you my ink, the stamp. So I grabbed all my yellow inks. I have an Altenew Mango Smoothie, my Distress Antique Linen, maybe Scattered Straw. I don't have all the Distress and Distress Oxide inks in every color. I should, but I don't yet. I have to be very careful about what I buy from the store for myself because I don't want to take away from what you guys can buy for you. Oh, Wild Honey, that's a good color. That one kind of borders between a yellow and a gold and an orange color. It's a very warm yellow, I'd say. I just took my little circle stamp. It's really meant to probably go inside and create texture inside of a circle, but I just took that little stamp and stamped it on there in every different color that I had. And I know that there's a difference between the oxide and the distress inks, and really the difference is how does it react to water, which is why I stamped that other one on the other side of Distress Oxide Wild Honey, because that one I'm going to throw some water on in a minute. And then I do have a Distress Archival in Fossilized Amber. So I just wanted to see what it looked like just stamped on white cardstock, and then I knew that that oxide was meant to react to water, so I sprayed it to kind of get the effect of what you might do if you were going to use it on a regular cardstock. And I think I just go back, on my next video, and you'll see the rest. Okay, thank you for watching. Catch me in number 2 coming up pretty soon.